Hi everyone. Thanks for checking out this video. So there's going to be like a quick but hopefully useful lesson for you guys. So this is actually something I had to do at my job today. So I'm trying to make these like useful tutorials for you guys that'll actually be like helpful in like a real life setting. And this is actually something I had to do like in real life today. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to make one of these distance heat maps to compare different samples for some data set you have. So if you're doing work like me, like computational biology work, then you might be using this for like a gene expression data set. But you can really use this kind of technique for any kind of data set with like any kind of different data where you have different samples and like a bunch of measurements for different samples, and you want to compare how similar the samples are to each other. So this is like what's called a distance heat map. So it's basically showing like how closely different samples are related to each other. So first I'll just show you guys the data. So I made up this like fake data set with like fake measurements for 20 genes and then 10 samples where 5 of the samples are what I called control samples, and then 5 are like drug samples. You can think of that as like some samples where the cells were not treated with any drug, and then like some samples where they are treated with a drug. And so I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this plot that like visualizes how similar the samples are to each other, basically. So yeah, you can see that basically the darker the color in the plot, the more similar they are to each other, and the lighter the color, the further apart they are from each other. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just going to show you guys how to do this in R. It's going to be like a pretty quick video, but again, hopefully useful for you guys. Okay, so first things first, you're going to need this library called p heatmap. So I'm going to say library p heatmap, and if you don't have this installed, you're just going to put in the command line install.packages quotes p heatmap. So that's if you don't already have it installed, but yeah, I already have it installed, so it should work okay. Oh, also, again, just to remind you guys, this I keep this line up here so that I can like clear the environment if I have to. So this just clears all of the like variables and stuff that you have defined. So I would start with my R files with this line here to just like clear the environment of any variables if I have to. Yeah, okay. So next we need to read in our data. So I'm going to say data equals arrow, whatever you want to call this thing. Read.table, and then I have it in this folder called data, and then it's called gene expression.csv, header true, because it has the headings, and then row names equals 1 because our first row here, sorry, our first column here is the names of the rows. And then sep equals comma because it's a CSV. Okay, so let's see if we can get this read in okay. Yeah, so this reads in the data. You can take a look at it. Yeah, it's got all of our row names here, just all the genes, gene 1 to gene 20. Then the column names are these 5 control samples and then 5 drug samples. Yeah, and just to show you guys, like the class of this data object is a data frame, which is what we want it to be. So all good for now. Okay, so now we need to start making this like sample distance matrix. So I'm going to say sample distance equals dist. This is how you calculate the distance. Basically, for every sample, it's going to calculate by default the Euclidean distance. You can see that kind of in here. But you can also set this to be like different kinds of distance calculations if you want it to be. But yeah, by default, it'll be the Euclidean distance between these samples, basically treating the columns as if they're vectors that you're trying to like calculate the Euclidean distance between. Okay, we need one more thing though. We need to actually transpose the data. So I'm putting T t parentheses data here, because basically whatever we're trying to calculate the distance of, we want it to be like the rows here. But if we do it without the transpose, it's going to be doing the distance like between the different genes, but we want the distance between different samples. So basically we need to transpose it to get the samples to be like the rows of the data frame basically. But yes, let's just run this and see what we get. Yeah, so it gives you kind of like a weird looking thing like this, but we're going to now get it to look like a normal matrix. So the next line is going to be, I'll just call it dist mat, arrow s matrix, and then sample distance. So basically we're just casting this thing into a matrix to get it to look kind of like it makes more sense. So now it's gonna look like it makes a little bit more sense, kind of what we would expect it to look like. So basically, it has a row for every sample and a column for every sample, and then each element in this matrix is giving it's giving the Euclidean distance between these two samples. Okay, so this is like the distance matrix. Now the next part is to actually visualize this. We want it to kind of look nice for us. So yeah, let's try to get like a nice visualization of this. So I'm going to say p heatmap parentheses sample distance, comma clustering distance rows equals whoops, I put the wrong thing here. This first argument, sorry guys, this was supposed to be the matrix, and then the second one is the sample distance. So distance matrix first, then clustering distance rows equals sample distance, and then clustering distance cols equals sample distance. Okay, so let's try that. Yeah, okay. So this gives like a basic heat map. So you can see that it has this like diagonal here showing that each sample has like zero distance from itself. And then it does this like hierarchical clustering to show like which samples are like most closely related to which. And it kind of like clusters them automatically like that. And then visualizes with this heat map how far apart they are and how close they are. And you can see it kind of worked. I mean, I made it do it like this on purpose, but all of the drug samples are clustered together, and all the control samples are clustered together. So I made it like that on purpose. But okay, so this is kind of like an ugly heat map. The one I have here that I showed you guys at first looks a little bit nicer, I think. So I'm going to show you guys now a trick to just like make the coloring scheme look a little bit nicer. So I'm actually just going to comment this out for now. Yeah, show you guys how to make it look kind of nice with like a nice coloring scheme. So to do this, we're going to use the library R. Whoops, too many parentheses here. R color brewer. And if you need to install this, it's going to be install packages, and then just the name of it. If you have to install it, just put that in the command line. But yeah, I think I already have it installed. Yep. Okay, so then we're gonna choose a color scheme basically. So I'm gonna say colors equals color ramp platelet parentheses rev brewer dot pal 9 blues, and you can make this something besides blue if you want to, and then 255. So you guys can maybe just kind of trust me on the syntax for this for now. This is just how we're going to get like a nice like blue color scheme here. So run that, make sure it works okay, and then we're basically going to say something similar with this command here. Yeah, something similar, except we're going to say col equals colors, whatever color scheme we defined here. Okay, and then when we run that, yeah, we get this nice looking blue heat map here. But yeah, again, it like basically shows the same thing, just showing like the drug samples clustered together and the control samples also clustered together. And then in the diagonal, we have this diagonal showing that like each sample is zero distance away from itself, basically. But yeah, from here you guys can like export as a PDF if you want to. Yeah. Yeah, again, hopefully this was useful to you guys. Yeah, just kind of like a short video today, but again, this is something I had to do at my actual job today. So yeah, I'm trying to make these things like useful and applicable in like the real world. But yeah, any questions, just let me know in the comments. I'll put the code up on my GitHub like usual. But yeah, thanks for watching and see you next time.